Good morning, friends. As you're all aware, the election fever is on. Very shortly, India is going to have a general election, and Prime Minister Modi will make an attempt to come into power for the third time. Now, whether it's going to be third time lucky or no, that we will find in a few months' time. But at the same time, let us analyze what the situation is. And today's video, I'm going to analyze the opposition. The opposition suffered badly in the 2014 election, and they were bested again in the 2019 election also. No doubt about it. These are things that happen in life. And the biggest surprise was the complete debacle of the Congress in 2014, when they could manage only 44 seats. Ever since 1951, when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru won the first election with 350 odd seats, this has been the lowest score of the Congress ever. Congress expected to do better in 2019, but I'm afraid they failed again, got just about 50 odd seats, and many people have been feeling that the Congress party has written its obituary, its deathbed. Gentlemen, so let's start with the Congress party. It's a major party, and it's a grand old party, the party of Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Bose earlier, big stalwarts, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and so many others. But the fact remains that at the moment it has become moribund and in the jaws of death. And how can it regenerate itself? That is the point. Because unless the Congress gives a credible challenge to the BJP and Narendra Modi, there is very little chance ever that Modi will be defeated. And as things stand, Modi is likely to win a thumping confidence vote in the coming election. But it should not be forgotten that the Congress still gets about 20% of the vote, and that's a lot of vote. That means there are a large number of people still supporting the Congress party. The question is, how does the Congress translate this into seats? Now, as it stands, if you remember Field Marshal Viscount Slim, who was the commander of the 8th Army facing the Japanese, had said, a leader has to show that he is the leader and can lead forward. He is to be a man without bias and scruples. That is a very important statement, and I'm afraid the leader of the Congress party, that is at the moment Sonia Gandhi, and her son Rahul Gandhi, don't fill the bill. Both of them seem to have an anathema, an inherent negative attitude against Hinduism. Rahul Gandhi, I think in 91 or 92, there was an election on in Kerala. At that time, he went there, and there was a beef party organized in one of the colleges there, and his photograph was put up there, that of the Congress, and slogans were made that if you want to eat beef, then vote for the Congress. I remember having seen this poster somewhere, but my point is entirely different. My point is that when you take such hard, cut and dried stands, you are likely to alienate the majority. And you should not forget that 80% of India is Hindu. The Muslims are only about 12 to 13%, and they cannot in any way influence an election. So why did Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi keep on doing such things? Sonia, as we all know, is a practicing Roman Catholic, and there's just about 2% of them in India. And all of them have the allegiance to the Pope sitting in Rome. So, gentlemen, these are the points to be thought of. So, until this leadership in the Congress is removed, replaced by a new generation which are more nationalistic, I don't say that they are anti-national, both these mother and son, but their souls are not with the nation. That part is there. Perhaps, though she is a Christian, convert, I don't know about it, that is Priyanka Vadra, she's married a Christian, and her children are Christians. They've been baptized, I think. And there's a good chance that Congress could have a little better chance with her at the helm of affairs. But the chances are that she will not come anywhere close to the leadership of the Congress party, and the mother-son duo will continue. Rahul Gandhi is fairly aged now. He's almost 52 or 53 years old. This is the time, he should have matured, known how to lead a party forward. He's unable to do it. And he goes on committing blunder after blunder. It's like a bull in a china shop. He doesn't know what he's talking sometimes. And his whole approach is of total arrogance. If you remember, I think it was 2013 when Sardar Manmohan Singh, that man who had disgraced the sixth literally as Prime Minister, had passed an ordinance, and Rahul didn't like it, and in a press conference he got the ordinance and threw it away. I mean, this is not the way. He was not a man who was holding any official position in the government, yet he did it. And the Sardar, true to his salt, accepted it. He ate it up. He said, everything's fine. And he held a cabinet meeting and took the ordinance back. So it shows the arrogance of this man. The arrogance without having the means, the backing behind him. At that time in 2013, he thought Congress was going to win again in 2014. I'll be Prime Minister, so might as well do what I feel like. So gentlemen, leadership बहुत important चीज़ है, and Congress party lacks credible leadership. And in case the Congress has to come up, they have to remove men like Kharge. अब देखिए Kharge, he cannot speak properly. I mean, he can't address a meeting in Hindi, he can't speak in English. I don't know how good is he in Kannada or something, but he's the most uninspiring man to lead a party forward. And if such a man is being made the president of the Congress party, you can well imagine where they're going to end up. The Congress has to look inwards, look in for better men. There are a lot of good people there. Shashi Tharoor, Rajesh Pilot, there's so many of them. Sachin Pilot, there's so many of them. But if you rely on people like Gehlot and that Raja from Madhya Pradesh, Digvijay Singh, a lost man who कहते हैं ना जैसे गौची गाय, he's precisely that. He doesn't know what he's talking. And then he tries to be a Hindu, he tries to be everything, and brings in some Baba here and there. But one can see that he is a total fraud. Now these are the type of people within the Congress party. You can well imagine where the Congress is going to head up. And they don't have a leader worth a name in Uttar Pradesh or in Bihar, Assam and Maharashtra. And if you remember in the 2019 election, I think Congress didn't win a single seat in parliament. So you can well imagine how things are going. So gentlemen, the point which I am coming to is that the Congress party, which is the main opposition party in India, has to do a lot of homework. And they're not going to do it. So they're not going to do it because the mother-son duos got the party in their clutches, and all around them are some sycophants who are sitting there saying, yes sir, 3 bags full, and the net result of all that is the Congress has lost its credibility. So if the main opposition party is not able to win, the others which are trying to hitch themselves forward are not going to go forward. The other parties have realized that the Congress is a spent force. And since it's a spent force, the question is what is to be done. So they want to give Congress very few seats. And despite talk of an Indie alliance, that is as good as a zero as it stands. Another bane of the opposition, which I told you, is these plethora of leaders without any mass support. Let us start with Sharad Pawar. He's a wonderful man, great leader, but net result is, at the moment, he's a cipher. He's zero. He's lost his party, but he still hasn't lost his tail, so he keeps on wagging it, and he's a non-entity. Then we have Uddhav Thackeray, who burnt all his boats, all his bridges when he left the BJP alliance and went and joined up with the people who had always been anti his father. His father was always anti these men of the Congress and the NCP. He went and joined with them. And though Rahul Gandhi has been blowing hot against V. Savarkar, even insulting him, this man is going and having tea with him and sitting with folded hands, hoping he'll get some crumbs from the table. So here you don't expect anything from such a man. Can you expect anything from him? Nothing. Leave him out, and you come to the other leaders which are existing, Digvijay Singh and Kamal Nath in Madhya Pradesh and Gehlot in Rajasthan. In Gujarat, they don't have a leader but the name. And in Rajasthan, they have Sachin Pilot, but then he doesn't have the support. And Gehlot is the master batsman, and he's put him in his place, Uttar Pradesh, they don't have a leader but the name. They had a wonderful leader in Punjab, the Maharaja of Patiala, that is Amrinder Singh. But Rahul Gandhi and his sister at that time alienated this man, and the net result is that Punjab has been lost. And I think in the coming elections, the Congress won't be able to win a single seat from Punjab. In Bengal also, they have been decimated, and Mamata Banerjee is the numero uno. Same thing in Assam and Orissa, where Biju Patnaik holds the fort. So as far as the opposition is concerned, there is no leader worth the name. There's a lot of talk of Nitish Kumar as a face to face the Prime Minister Modi. I mean, I would die laughing on a bed of nails. Nitish Kumar, who doesn't have any following. You remember in the 2019 election, he won just 2 seats in parliament. He thought he's a very big man from Bihar, and he ended up by getting 2 seats, and he was running around like a khargosh, a rabbit here and there, till he teamed up with the BJP. And now this man thinking he's going to be prime minister, that famous story, the great pretender. I think he's the great pretender, and he's not going to win anyway. In any case, he's a written off man. He'd like to go back to the BJP alliance, but I don't think the BJP is going to touch him with a barge pole even. Now look at the other men. They're all corrupt. The chief minister of Jharkhand, that is Hemant Soren, is a corrupt man. Just being a tribal doesn't mean that you're going to be honest and lead the country forward. He's not interested. He's interested in making money. And he's been doing a lot of scams. And now I think he's likely to go to jail. Then you've got Kejriwal. Now here's a man, I think, who is one of the persons who pinpoints the ills of Indian democracy. He's the man who's taken the nation, rather the people of Delhi, on a ride. It's a roller coaster ride with him having a ball, enjoying himself. Now he's a man, you have to deal with him properly. And the only place for him, I think, is one of the jails in India. Maybe I don't even think he should be put in Tihar jail. If he has to he should be put in some jail in Dibrugarh, like we have imprisoned Amritpal Singh and put him there. Put him in solitary confinement, let him enjoy himself there. If he wants biryani and everything, give it to him. But he is not a man who can lead the nation forward. And he's always thinking he's going to be the Prime Minister of India. I mean, nothing could be more laughable, I could say, this match. So, gentlemen, this is one man, and I remember even now reading somewhere which Anna Hazare said, that very fine leader, he said, this man was supposed to be a crusader against corruption. He's become the most corrupt man himself. I think 3 or 4 of his ministers are in jail for misappropriation of funds, money laundering, and right out of the Supreme Court, the evidence is so decisive that they haven't been able to get bail. I think the same thing is going to happen to Kejriwal. He is what is known as the man aspiring to be king. But you can't aspire to be a king and then become one also when you lack basic qualities of leadership. A leader is a man who gives leadership, leads people, and Kejriwal, I think, doesn't know anything about leadership. I think all he's interested is how he can make some money here and there and, try to see that they can do some of foolish things, and fool the people. Basic idea is to fool the people, and that is something you can always do in democracy. We've been fooling the Delhi public who voted him twice with a thumping majority. And I want to ask the people of Delhi, I have a house there, I have a lot of relations in Delhi. What has he done for Delhi? What has he done? I think he's done nothing. But he's created an aura that I've done a lot of things. The only leader or opposition who's played sane and who's done very well is Biju Patnaik. I gave him full marks. And he knows where the bread is buttered, so he's not opposing Mr. Modi at all. Now there's another man sitting, in Telangana, and his name is, as you all know, KCR. This man, changed the name of his party because he had national ambitions. He thought he was going to be Prime Minister of India. But he went and lost the election, the state elections to the Congress, and which is a surprise. But people who know that this man was more of a megalomaniac. I think he didn't understand anything, and there were various corruption charges against his daughter, and he's still thinking he's a great guy. So, gentlemen, we are coming to so many things in life which we don't know what's happening, and even a soothsayer cannot say what is going to happen to the opposition. The opposition, I think, is not united. They never will be. There are too many leaders with no followers. So when you have got leaders and no followers, then what's the result? All these leaders will have no option but to go and jump into the Arabian Sea. Now, I don't mean literally they're going to jump into the Arabian Sea, but the fact remains that they are the ones who are going to write their own political obituaries. And another thing which we must bear in mind is the approach of the opposition. The approach of the opposition is totally negative. And when you have a negative approach, you can't move forward. Even honest questions, you want to color them up. Now, this was the case of Mahua Moitra. I mean, she's a beautiful lady, wonderful to see her photographs. But the fact remains she committed lots of acts of impropriety. I won't go into that, we all know that. And she's been expelled from Parliament. But the opposition sided on her side in support. Now, you've got to be honest in life, because people all over the world know, and in India also they know what is good and what is bad. And what Moitra was doing was absolutely something which is demeaning for a member of Parliament. I don't think she should be allowed to enter Parliament again, despite she's a beautiful lady. I think she could try her luck somewhere else. So, gentlemen, this just shows the type of leadership is. And look at the politics which the opposition is playing as far as the Ram Mandir is concerned. Now, Ram is a god. He was a king. And he is the epitome of India. We are looking forward to Ram Rajya all the time. And here are the people who are talking that the Ayodhya Mandir is something to do with the BJP. It doesn't belong to the BJP, it belongs to the people of India. And Ram is the god of India. He's not the god of the BJP, or not attending any shaka of the RSS with shorts and doing danda and all that. No. He is a man who is in the heart of most Indians as the epitome of goodness. So the opposition hasn't realized what is good for them. You've got to be in the mainstream. You can't alienate the Hindus. And in time to come, in another 10 years, there's going to be a tremendous Hindu resurgence. And I'm pretty sure the Hindu Rashtra is on the anvil. It's going to be declared. You can't help it. And these are the people who want to stop it. Now, what is should you stop a Hindu Rashtra? Why? After all, when there were great kings ruled like Vikramaditya, Chandragupta, they were all Hindus and they ruled by Dharma. Dharma means the path of truth and righteousness. Hinduism is a religion which believes in that. It's not like some of the other religions which are insular and want to suffocate the minority. The Hindus have never done it. And India has been the home to anybody who escaped and came in for succor. The Parsis, for example, shouldn't forget that when they were thrown out of Iran, they came here to India and the Indian kings gave them a heaven to stay, a place to stay, to breathe, live, and they prospered here. So India is that sort of a country. We got so many religions. Hinduism, Sikhism, Jainism, Buddhism. So we all live together, but Hindutva means what? It means living by principles. And India should live by that and declare itself as a Hindu state. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, there's no choice. There's a resurgence in Hinduism. The Hindus have been suppressed for 1,000 years. I'll go into those details later. I think I made a video on that subject also. But let's forget about that. 1,000 years gone, chala gaya. Now we have to look to the future and there's going to be a resurgence in Hinduism. So as far as the next election is concerned, gentlemen, I'm very sure the opposition is digging its own grave. As far as the leftist parties are concerned, don't discuss with them at all. They are not Indian. They don't have any Indian culture, any ethos, nothing. I don't know from where they're getting friends. Maybe China, maybe anywhere. Earlier, I believe, after independence, they were being supported from Moscow. Stalin wanted the international communist movement going, and we had revolutionaries like M.N. Roy and all throwing bomb here and there, But it's a very sad thing, because you must remember that communism or the leftists have been always a divisive force. They destroy the very country in which they're staying, and that's what they did in Russia. There was the Bolshevik Revolution, and Lenin, Stalin, and then Khrushchev, and all these people conspired in such a way that the Russian state collapsed. The Russian Empire, which had lasted for hundreds of years and been built up by the Tsars, was finished by these people. So there's no reason that they won't do the same thing here. But in any case, they are totally marginalized. They have no following in India. They had some seats earlier during the time of the Sardar, but that's about all. Now they're nowhere. I don't think they're going to win any seats at all. Maybe one or two fringe seats, and they can keep clapping about that. Another point which we must remember is the approach of the minority community, the Muslims. Now we have got some very negative individuals like Owaisi, who's one that always wins the election from Hyderabad. Now, if you go through his lectures and speeches, etc., though he professes to be an Indian, says he doesn't like Pakistan, but the fact remains that he would like a separate identity for Muslims in India. You can't have that. It can't be allowed. In France, there are 10% Muslims, but there's no separate identity for them. They have to live as per the tenets of the French state. The burqa is banned. Number one, the headscarf is banned. The face cover is banned. And then look at China. There are a lot of Muslims. They're in Xinjiang, who are called the Uyghurs. And there China has banned the Ramadan, the most holiest of Muslim festivals, has been banned. Even they discouraged the namaz being done 5 times. And what has the Muslim world done to China? They didn't just say a word about China, because China is so powerful, they sent the Muslim world into the next world. So, gentlemen, Turkey is blowing hot and cold, silent always on China. So Europe has now woken up to the menace of the minorities, and the extreme right wing has come, which will not allow any further migrations, and those who are staying there have to live as per the laws of the land. Now, there are a lot of Muslims in America, maybe 1%, not much, I would say, but still they constitute a significant minority. But they have to follow the American Constitution and the law. You can go around saying, I'll have 4 wives and I'll do talaq and, I'll give a divorce to my wife, go and marry another girl next door or something like that. Not in America. You go to jail. So we have to have a uniform civil law in India, a uniform property law in India, and of course all this under the aegis of the Hindu way of life. Who are Hindus? Hindus are all those persons who stay in Hindustan. Whether you're a Muslim or a Sikh or a Jain, you are a Hindu because you are a resident of Hindustan. And Hindustan must have one language. And that language, of course, I like to differ from the BJP, cannot be Hindi because it is not a language spoken all over India. The link language has to be English. I mean, I'm digressing again from what is happening in the election. The point is the opposition is totally divided. It's not able to see the reality on the wall. And the net result of all this is going to be a catastrophic defeat if they don't pull their shoes up by the bootstraps. I've given you a picture of the leaders all around. Some of them are absolutely leaders in name. They amassed a lot of money like the DMK leaders. And they keep on foul-mouthing the Hindus. I mean, I don't want to stoop to their level and say something which they have been saying. You all read about it in the papers, in the press, on TV, but these are the men who denigrate India. And denigrating Bharat is itself a crime. So, gentlemen, the election is coming. We don't have any proper leader in the opposition to lead forward. And I have already given you some of my assessments. Until unless the old leaders who are in the opposition like Nitish, Sharad Pawar, etc., Digvijay Singh, Kamal Nath, Gehlot and all, go home, sit down, eat biryani, vegetable or chicken and relax and take it easy, I don't think there's any chance for the opposition at all. My personal feeling is the BJP is going to win handsomely. Now, how many seats BJP is going to win? Some of the astrologers have forecast 400, somebody says 350, somebody says thing. All I will say is they are going to win a thumping majority. It will be more than the seats what they won last time, but the people have realized that Mr. Modi is the best bet. I don't think he's the best man to lead the country forward because he's got a lot of negative points also. But then, out of bad eggs, I think he would be the best to lead India forward. Just imagine if you have Rahul Gandhi as the helm of affairs, what's going to happen to India? India is going to be destroyed. And maybe, he would be getting in more missionaries here and all that and trying to instigate the Hindus against each other. Because these people can thrive only by breaking the Hindu ethos, the Hindu culture, to break it into compartments and compartmentalize everything. That's what Nitish wanted to do by the caste census. Why should you have a caste census after 75 years? We want to do away with caste and you hold census because you want some political gain. That's all. You're interested in the backward castes. Nitish, do you think interested in backward castes? All interested to be Prime Minister, Chief Minister. He's been one there for about 18 years. He's having a ball, moving around a Chief Minister's car and all that, and show that greyish beard that he's a very learned man, which he's not. And I don't think much about his family life also. And he's a person without any principles. Today he's with the BJP, tomorrow he's with the JDU, he forms this thing. I mean, it's just sitting and like a lost cow. So the opposition has to pull itself up. The Congress has to clean what we say the Augean stables. What the Augean stables, the stables of the gods, which could not be ever cleaned. I don't think they're going to be able to clean the stables and the stink which is there. And by default, the BJP is going to win. Gentlemen, I have nothing more to say. I hope you like my video. I've given you a different line of thought, and do take care of yourself. And if you like my video, please subscribe to it, share it with your friends, and come back for more. Goodbye and God bless.